Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the first episode of Season 2 with Newcastle United in the FM17 beta. We are about to start our Premier League season. As you can see, the first thing we're going to look at is the amazing transfer business that we've done during the close. We're now, if we just have a look at our schedule, we have played the very first game of our pre-season, so that's where we are. It's the 10th of July. It's a month until we play Liverpool in our first Premier League game at St James's Park. In terms of friendlies, they're quite easy games. North Shields, Rye Hope, and then we have Ghent, who are maybe more in our bracket before two big games against Madrid and Inter Milan just to test our mettle. But it's mainly just about fitness, not too worried about results, as always. So in terms of transfers, let's maybe look at who we let go first. Gouffron went on a free. He didn't play much last season. Depena, again, we signed him for 1.8 million. Only played 4 games, needed to go. John Joe Shelvey, perhaps a little bit surprising, but that transfer will be worth £15 million. And he didn't actually play that much for us in the end last season, or wasn't that great, rather. He did play a lot, but he wasn't that great. And I did start to replace him with Diame towards the end of the season. So when the bid came in, it was more than what we paid for him when you think of the £15 million that it will become. So I was fine to let that happen. Dwight Gale has gone for 7.5. I didn't really think he was very good last season. He spent most of it unhappy. Isaac Hayden's gone. We got a crazy bid coming from out of nowhere. I was thinking of transfer listing him, but instead Norwich came in and paid 10.75, or what will become £10.75 million for him. Sami Amiobi's gone on a free. He's not going to play, and I wanted him off the wage budget. Same with Haris Vukic. Florian Thauvin was a pre-existing and built into the game transfer there, so I didn't sanction that, but we did get £11 million for it. Riviere 1.9 to Bristol, who won the playoff final against Fulham, so they're in the Premier League next season. Rob Elliott, he's 31 years old. We've got Krull back, we've got Carl Darlow and Freddie Woodman. So I thought, yeah, we'll just let him go. We needed to free up a bit of money in the wage budget. Saive gone for just £5 million, and Mitrovic has gone out on loan, although that could become a future fee for I think about £5 million, which is very cut price, but Mitrovic doesn't play in this complete forward role that I like to use. He is a target man, and I don't think I'll ever use a target man. So while he does have potential, it's not potential I'm going to be able to use. And so hopefully he does come back a better player, and Guignon don't try to enact that £5 million buy-on, but I imagine they would. But it was pretty much the only way I could get him out of the team right now. So we managed to bring in £46 million. We already had £50 million in the budget, so quite a bit of money to spend. And as you can see, I have spent it, but not lavishly. These are all very shrewd signings. I pushed it to the limit with all of them. We got Christian Atsu, who was brilliant last season, for 8.5, value of 11. He was absolutely phenomenal for us in the Championship, so it would have been rude not to bring him back. Andy Carroll, the legend that he is, that big target man, has come in almost to do the job of Mitrovic. Maybe can play complete forward if we need him to, but he's not in to score goals. He's in there to support the wingers if we need him. He'll be a late sort of substitution, an impact substitution. He didn't play for West Ham. We got him for just £4.7 million, which is nothing compared to the £35 million we sold him for. So he will be our third choice striker, really. He'll come on as and when we need him if there's injuries. Craig Dawson, I feel, is a pretty good signing. Value of 9, we bought him for 7. He was alright for West Brom last season, but in terms of how he fits into our team, he is up there. He will be competing with the other central defenders for that starting position. Lewis Cook, I feel, is a good one for the future. As you can see, he could be a 5-star player. He's currently 3 stars, but he is a box-to-box midfielder, so he'll fit into the team pretty much perfectly. So I feel that he's probably the most expensive signing, actually. He is. That's a end valuation of 16.25 million. They wanted 20 and I managed to get them down, so I think that's a fair deal. But just by the way, the transfer pricings in this game are so different to the last few years. Because the Premier League money is here, everybody is going for so much more money. So these deals are nothing compared to Antoine Griezmann being signed for £100 million by, I think, Chelsea in the game. There's just so much money being thrown around. So to get these deals was quite good. I'm quite happy with Vincent Janssen. We got him for just 11 or 12 million pounds, but he will be a top quality striker for us. He didn't do too badly for Spurs. He actually got 9 goals last season, but he only really played in the cup. We've also got Adnan Januzaj for just £7.5 million, an absolute steal. He'll play on the right wing as an inside forward with Matt Ritchie. Easily could be a 5-star player. I don't understand how we got him so cheap. I think last season he was on loan at our rivals and still got nearly a 7 rating when they, I think, got relegated. So very happy with that. Probably the best signing. We got Julian Green, who's a good young player if anybody's familiar with him, on a free valuation at 8.75. He'll just come in as and when we have easy games. Jonathan Calleri we got on a free, but we had to pay £3 million compensation. But he is another very good player. And last season he got 6 in 19, 9 in about 27 overall. But he's got great stats, and I think he will lead the line with Janssen. Andy Carroll will be our backup. I think Calleri and Carroll both are a little susceptible to injuries. It might be Janssen and Carroll actually, but between the three of them, we've got a much better strike force than we had last season. It was so frustrating just having Gale and Mitrovic. So to have 3 top quality strikers available is very good news. And another steal was Lucas Silva from Real Madrid. I've bought him probably the last 3 or 4 games, versions of Football Manager rather, because he's so good. He has so much potential and he fits the defensive midfield role perfectly with Tiote and Anita. So that is the transfer business. I do still have £23 million in the budget, but as you can see, we are a couple of £100,000 over the wage budget, and the board won't let me move this slider anymore. They won't even let me have a board meeting about it, so I might have to trim some of the fat from the squad. It is a big squad, but the strength in depth is phenomenal, I feel. The 3 strikers, we've got players who can play defensive, 3 who can play defensive midfield, and about 6 overall can play centre midfield. 2 brilliant players on either side of the flank. We've got Atsu on the left with Pulisic. Rolando Aarons can come in on either side. And then Richie and Januzaj on the other side. Lots of good young players in the central midfield like Silva, Cook, Christensen, with the experience of Tiote and Anita in there as well. And in defence, we've not really changed anything at all. Haidara will be leaving us, which might leave a gap at left back, but Joe Gomez can fill there if we need it, and he will get more game time as a result. James and Lazar will probably continue as our first choice full-backs, and in centre defence we've brought in Dawson and Bemba Iorfa, and Lascelles in there. Mbabu has come in as filler. He'll get a bit of game time because he has good potential. And then in goal, very happy with Tim Krul. Carl Darlow as backup. Freddie Woodman has high potential and will play eventually. But yeah, I am very surprised at how well our transfer window went. I remember at the end of last episode I said it wouldn't matter if we only signed 1 striker. We've done a lot more than that, and the team is looking very strong. I've got to achieve mid-table, so there's a reason I needed to make the changes. But I think I could probably get away with avoiding relegation, but I think a bad start to this season could put me in jeopardy because the board aren't ecstatic with me after the struggle that last season was. But what we'll do now is play through these friendlies, get to the other side, and I'll let you know any more transfers that we make, any changes to the squad. We might lose a few players just because of that wage budget. I have to see how it affects the confidence because I need all the help that I can get first season in the Premier League. A few of you have told me that it is very tough getting promoted into the Premier League because everybody else has had a year to spend money on top of you. So you're a season behind, and you don't have the best pick of players. So I think it will be very, very tough, but we can do it. We can survive. So let's get through these friendlies, and I'll see you on the other side. We are now the other side of the pre-season, and if we just have a little extra look at our transfers, we didn't bring anybody else in. The wage budget does not allow us to do so. Just scroll to the bottom. A few players going out on loan. Adam Armstrong, probably the biggest one, and Mbabu went out on loan. I figured he wasn't going to get as much game time with us, but he will at the Seattle Sounders, and he might come back a much better player. Haidara did indeed move for £2.1 million, but I have not been able to shift Siem de Jong or Darren Gibson or Conor McAlhenney, which has been a little bit frustrating. I've offered to let them all go on a free. De Jong's meant to be worth £10 million and nobody will take him on a free. He turned down the only team that came in for him, which I think was Stade de Reims. So that's quite frustrating. Daryl Murphy's still there. We've got about 100 grand on the wage bill that we're over that is sitting here in the under 23. So I'm desperately trying to get rid of him, but I just don't think it's going to happen. If we have a look at the pre-season, it was pretty good all in all. We were unlucky to lose 1-0 to Atletico Madrid, but we did beat Inter Milan. We also beat Ghent, won the other 2 matches quite easy. Only conceded 2 goals across 5 matches. The tactic has remained exactly the same from last season. I will change it if we lose our first few matches because I know it's a step up. We're playing quite open. Hopefully, defensive midfielder will bolster our defensive positions, but we'll see against Liverpool. If we get smashed, then we know we might need to look again. But a couple of easier games against West Brom, Norwich, Stoke, Palace, Watford, Swansea. That will be the real test, is getting through these games. And then we've got to play Man City, at Arsenal and Everton, with Chelsea just a couple after that. So we've got an easy patch and a hard patch. And if we're struggling through this patch in the next episode, essentially, we know we really have to change something, because I don't think I'll make it to Christmas if we aren't outside of the relegation zone. So it's a big game against Liverpool. It's a test of how we'll do. We will play the first match of the season in this episode. I think we've got enough time to get it through. So let's have a look at how we're going to line up. So this is the team for today. Jonathan Calleri is getting the nod ahead of Janssen. It's tight, but Calleri is just a little bit better suited to the support role as a complete forward. Atsu, as ever, starting on the left wing. Pulisic will get some game time. We will be finding out which one of them is the better player this season. Januzaj is getting the nod on the right. But a little note about Januzaj, he's already unhappy at the club because apparently I broke his promises. He had about 15 promises when I signed him. And I maybe rather foolishly just said yes to them all. And he's basically come and asked to be put on the transfer list. I don't think he is on the transfer list, but he does want to leave. Has requested to... Oh no, transfer listed by request. So he's already on the transfer list despite never having played for us. But he's going to play today. My tactic is just to not sell him or wait until somebody comes in for a bid for him. I think they're going to have to pay 15 to 20 million even if he does go, so I'm not too worried about that. We'd be able to bring somebody in and he would free up the wage budget. But hopefully we can just stall enough to keep him. I don't mind if he's unhappy, really. He's a good enough player to play unhappy. Cook and Anita in the centre with Lucas Silva in defensive midfield. I think Lucas Silva will be our defensive midfielder, so I might think about changing the role because I think he's better suited to a deep line playmaker, which would mean that we can switch Lewis Cook to an advanced playmaker further up the field, but I'm not sure I want to do that really. I think I'm happy with how it is at the moment, even if players aren't playing at 100% their best role. And Bemba is unhappy because he wants to win the title. He's nowhere near good enough to be playing for a team winning the title, in my opinion, but he seems to think he is, so he's unhappy. Dawson, Lazar and Hammers making up the rest of the team. I think that's probably how the defence will stay for this season, with Tim Krul in goal. Throwing for Liverpool for Moreno. Dele Alli back to Alberto to Firmino, who whips it across and Bemba clears. But Dele Alli with a chance. And he scores. It's a great goal there. Dele Alli, on his debut, I think, gives Liverpool the lead. Dele Alli running across, finds Sturridge, and that's too easy. It's 2-0. We've been thoroughly outplayed by Liverpool today, as you might expect. They might even get a third at the death here. They probably should have more than that. They've had 2 shots on target and scored 2 goals, but 15 in total. Tim Krul does just catch that. We haven't done too badly for possession. I feel like you'd expect Liverpool to have more of the ball, even away from home. You'd expect them to get goals. A little bit concerned we didn't create many shots or shots on target. Janssen just making the run. We were doing better with Janssen up front than Calleri, so I might start Janssen in the next game. But we have started the Premier League with a 2-0 defeat, which is quite disappointing, although not entirely unexpected. I'm going to tell the team they're unlucky. I'm going to focus on keeping the spirits up. I feel like we will lose quite a few games this season, especially against big teams. It's about picking up the points from the teams around us, and we need to remember we aren't going for the title. We're looking for mid-table, but we'll settle for avoiding relegation. But that is the end of the first episode of Season 2. Christian Atsu is out just for a week after getting injured in that match. Next games will be against West Brom, Norwich and Stoke, so we can beat those teams, I feel. But we're already in the relegation zone, so a little bit concerning there already. But if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. But until next time, see ya.